This is the Devil's Guide to D&D. Devil's Delegate here. I'm looking once again at Tasha's Cauldron of Everything and the Bard class. This time, it's the College of Eloquence. How do I feel about this class? Yes! Now this is going to be a quick one because the College of Eloquence was previously published in its current form in the Mythic Odysseys of Theros book. But some players may have missed it in there, and putting in Tasha's means it's in the mainstream of the game now. And what a subclass this is, increasing the bard's ability to inspire others and weakening the defenses of their opponents. This is a class where song is no longer the thing, but words. These are the master orators, great leaders, politicians, used car salesmen, a self-help guru. These are the people who twist around language and with it twist around people's minds. At level 3, you get 2 features, Silver Tongue and Unsettling Words. Silver Tongue is your ability to cleverly speak and use your words to persuade and deceive. Whenever you make a skill check for persuasion or deception, any roll of 9 or lower becomes a 10. It's a slimmed-down version of the rogue's reliable talent skill, but they get that at 11th level. This is a fine benefit, and if your campaign has a lot of social interactions, this is going to be really a standout. But that's nothing next to Unsettling Words. With Unsettling Words, you can now apply your bardic inspirations as a minus to your enemy's next save. Well, this is lovely. This is the feature. Forget other uses of your inspiration die, as they're all going here. If you can get your enemies to fail their saves against you, you can destroy them. Really, this is as powerful a bard feature as you could wish for. This is an absolute win. Remember, the bard is all about buffing, debuffing, and control. And this gives you control. When I made my suggestions for which spells you should be taking for your bard, I threw out a bunch because they weren't reliable. You can only take so many, so you really can't afford to keep around a spell like Hold Person, which has a nice effect, but it's save or suck, and if they make their save, you've done nothing and wasted your turn. Not anymore. Because Unsettling Words makes Hold Person reliable. You now have a really good chance of getting at least one round with your opponent paralyzed so that the rest of your party can pound on them for critical damage. This is wonderful. And this is a feature that you will use the rest of your career. There is no time when this is not going to be great. Now, at level 6, you get more things. Quite frankly, after those first 2, it feels like we could be done. But we get more. Our 2 features at level 6 are Unfailing Inspiration and Universal Speech. Unfailing Inspiration, well, if an ally has one of your inspiration dies and fails, they get to keep the die, so they can try again with it on their next turn. This is nice. Again, no waste. This would be such an excellent ability if you weren't using all your inspirations up on Unsettling Words. But it's good. Your other level 6 feature is Universal Speech. With it, you can magically communicate with a number of creatures who don't speak your language once per short rest. This saves you from taking the tongue spell. It's all around useful, doesn't require your inspiration. Again, in social situations, it's great. You find enough times when you need to talk to somebody. Probably once a long rest is plenty, though you can spend a spell slot to get it back early if you really need it. Then finally, at level 14, you get Infectious Inspiration. If an ally succeeds in a roll, using your bardic inspiration, you can use your reaction to gift that die to another ally. You really want to play that one out. Pushing the whole, he has managed to succeed. He was inspired and he made it up the line. Now you can too. You can join him. Lots of fun for roleplay there. Now, when you combine this with unfailing inspiration, you're going to find your dice are going to get a lot more use than they would have before. Your inspirations will just keep going and going. If someone fails, they keep it and get to use it again. And when they succeed, they get to pass it on. Again, really nice and almost necessary, because you're going to be using all of your inspirations for unsettling words. So you're not going to be able to spare much inspiration to actually buff the party. So you might kind of look at this going, okay, 4 of my inspirations for unsettling words, and I'll give 1 for a party buff. Well, then you get into a big battle, and you toss 1 out, and that 1 should just bounce around the whole rest of the party. Every single round, your inspiration will be going. That's a win. How does this all combine together? Beautifully. Everything here works. The features are great. They make you a better bard. They focus on what you can do and bring it out to the forefront. They give you tons of room for role play. I mean, unsettling words. This is kind of the vicious mockery all the time as your levels go up. So you get to role play that out as making fun of and ripping apart your enemies. Now, I have already heard some talk that this subclass might be too good and that it should be banned from tables. Okay, that's silliness. When it's pretty much always going to be silliness with a class like this. Sometimes you can have an individual who's overpowered. One individual who can go in and beat the enemy by himself, who can beat his allies by himself, who needs no one. But the thing with the bard in general, and the eloquence bard in particular, is the strength, the power they have isn't for themselves. It's spread around. What makes him so good is how much he can help everybody else in the party. It's him being able to weaken his enemies so that they're now held down for his allies, so that his inspiration can be spread around. This isn't some solo one guy is Superman thing. This is something that makes the bard better and thus makes the whole party better. But all right, let's say you look at this and you say it's too strong. There is one simple fix for that. This is a strange case where the level 3 abilities are significantly better than the level 6 ones. And if there was one error in making this class, and I don't want to call it an error, but if there was one peculiarity, it's that once Unsettling Word comes online at level 3, you're not going to really use some of the other features that you get. You're not going to spend a lot of time with Unfailing Inspiration going once you've got Unsettling Words. So if you think this class is too strong for your table, swap the level 3 and level 6 abilities, and then just let it go. After all, what I've heard is that Silver Tongue is too good. It's too good to have somebody always making their persuasion and deception checks at level 3. But that's not so much true at level 6 anymore. After all, you're at a different tier of play, your enemies are tougher, so that's not as much of a problem. And for Unsettling Words, a very powerful ability. If you let it come online at 6th level, when again you're in tier 2 play, it's a little bit less overwhelming, and then you'd actually have 3 levels where you'd be using Unfailing Inspiration. Unfailing Inspiration is a great ability, being able to let your allies keep using your inspirations, so let that one play out for a while. And universal speech is just fine at level 3. Now, I said, I think this class is just fine as it is. But if you are one of those who are saying it's too strong for my table, just swap those and then go ahead and play, and it'll be fine. The College of Eloquence is a win for the player, for the party, and for the game. It's not only the strongest Bard subclass, the Eloquence Bard may be the strongest class-subclass combination in all of 5th edition. But it does that not solo, but in its ability to make the game better for everybody else. Everyone gets a little bit more because you have an Eloquence Bard around. And it combines its mechanical features with some great role-playing opportunities. They did this one right. The Devil is still a Glamour Bard fan first, no surprise, but this college is amazing. And now, that's it for now. Keep playing D&D, keep excessively drinking, and remember, it's a good time to start sniffing glue.